I'd like to talk to you about a concept called learning curves. So there are a lot of things that are important in Chapter 8. We are only going to look at the appendix, though, in this class. And the reason is that there's a lot that we could be doing in regression. Some of you have had statistics, some others have not. That's going to be important, but um, this, the statistical or regression analysis that's done is something that contemplates more of an estimation of a linear function. Whereas when we deal with learning curves, what we're talking about here is that, you know, and those of you who've had an internship or basically it's, or you're preparing tax returns or anything of the like, uh, the first time you did it, it took a while. And then as you do it more, as you work on it more, the second time will take a little bit less time and so forth. So the more proficient you become in doing something, that means it takes less time and there's going to be less cost resulting from that. And so this is where you have labor involved. This is going to be an idea that we need to consider as far as that may be the case. So in mathematical terms, what we do is we would have a formula of y equals ax to the b power, where y is the direct labor hours, uh, as in this case what we would say as a cumulative average time per unit. A is the number of direct labor hours for the first unit. X is output, in other words, number of units produced. And B is the index of learning. And the way that this comes through is we would be looking at an item called the learning curve, LCR, which is the learning curve rate. And what the learning curve rate is assuming that, assuming so this takes on a value, so value between 0.5 and 1. And the reason is that as we want to be able to model how quickly something takes, and so if you have a rate of 1, a learning curve rate of 1, LCR equals 1, that's the equivalent of no learning. And if you go below 0.5, based on the calculations, it's going to be something that's going to yield something somewhat odd. And so as far as the potential values for the B's, well, what we're looking at here is when we do this index of learning, what we're looking at here is looking at the natural log of the learning curve rate and dividing by the natural log of 2. And you might be confused as to why that might be, but the reason is that what we want to see is, okay, well, what happens in terms of learning as production doubles? And so that's where the 2 comes into play. And we'll continue on with deriving the different levels of B in the next video.